Neil Richard Gaiman, better known as Neil Gaiman. Neil Gaiman was born in Portchester, Hampshire, England on November 10, 1960. Gaiman's family is of Polish and other Eastern European Jewish origins. His great-grandfather immigrated from Antwerp before 1914 and settled in the Hampshire city of Portsmouth, where he established a chain of grocery stores. Gaiman's father, David Bernard Gaiman, eventually became director of the stores. His mother, Sheila Gaiman, was a pharmacist. He has two younger sisters, Claire and Lizzie. Gaiman's parents encouraged his reading. He devoured every book he could get his hands on as a child, working his way through the entire local children's library and partway through the adult collection as well. He read books in a number of different genres, especially comic. He was also interested and drawn to science fiction and fantasy. Neil Gaiman describes himself as a feral child who was raised in libraries. He credits librarians with fostering a lifelong love of reading. Gaiman claims he wouldn't be who he is without libraries, and he discovered that librarians actually want to help you. He was educated at several Church of England schools. He spent his elementary years at Fonthill School in East Grinstead, United Kingdom. Then he went to Ardingly College from 1970 to 1974. This school is an independent co-educational boarding and day school located in the West Sussex countryside southeast of England. From 1974 to 1977, he attended and graduated from Whitgift School in South Croydon, London. This school is an independent day school educating approximately 1,400 boys aged 10 to 18. After graduating, Gaiman became a journalist in England, and so began his writing career. In March 1985, Gaiman married his first wife, Mary McGrath, and in 1992, he moved his family from England to Minneapolis, Minnesota. Neil Gaiman is known as a best-selling author in many different genres, including comic, fiction novel for both adult and children, short stories, and graphic novels. One of his most famous works is the comic series The Sandman. It's a comic series spanning over 70 issues from January 1989 to March 1996. These comic series employ all kinds of fantasy and fairy tale character motives in highly original plots that recall traditional horror stories and romances. It is one of the few rare graphic novels to be featured on the New York Times bestsellers list. In 1991, Sandman became the first comic ever to receive a literary award. It received the 1991 World Fantasy Award for Best Short Story. The award is presented annually to individuals who have demonstrated explicable service to the fantasy world. In 1998, Stardust was published. He wrote this enchanting story to honor simpler fairy tales and fantasies of times past, where a town was magical and a person could wander freely if they chose to. The character, Tristan Thorne, believes he is in love with the most beautiful girl in town, and he wants nothing more than to marry her. He promises he would retrieve a fallen star for her, and in return, he would have her hand in marriage. The promise begins a magical adventure that will send Tristan on a journey with dangers, spells, a witch, dead princess, flying pirates, a unicorn, and a falling star who turns out to be a woman who is true and fair. In 1999, Stardust received the Mythopeak Fantasy Award for Adult Literature. This award is given annually for books published during the previous year that best exemplifies the spirit of the Inklings. In 2000, it received the Alex Award. The Alex Award is an award given for excellence in entertainment. Then, in 2007, a movie was made from the novel, also named Stardust. In 2001, American Gods was published. The popular novel is a cross between various genres like fantasy, mythology, and Americana. The story follows the life of a man named Shadow. Released from prison, he finds his world turned upside down. His wife has been killed. A mysterious stranger named Mr. Wednesday offers him a job. Mr. Wednesday knows more about Shadow than is possible. He warns that a storm is coming, a battle for the very soul of America, and they are in its direct path. The novel received many awards. In 2002, it received the Hugo Award for Best Novel. This award is given annually for the best science fiction or fantasy works and achievement. American Gods also received the Bram Stoker Award that same year. This is a recognition presented by the Horror Writing Association for superior achievement in horror writing. The following year, in 2003, it received the Nebula Award. It is given each year by the Science Fiction and Fantasy Writers of America for the best science fiction, fantasy fiction published in the United States during the previous year. Stardust also received the Locus Award for Best Fantasy Novel. The award is a literary award presented to winners of Locus Magazine's annual readers' poll. In 2002, Coraline was published. Coraline is a somewhat creepy children's story of a little girl named Coraline who moves into a big old house with her parents. In this old house, there is one door which opens onto a blank wall, but it eventually turns out that it leads to a parallel world where Coraline's button-eyed other mother is in control. The other mother captures Coraline's parents, and Coraline goes through a series of quests to rescue them. Her ally is a cat which can talk in this other world. Coraline will have to fight with all her might and courage if she is to save her parents and herself and return to her ordinary life. This novel also received many awards. In 2003, Coraline received the Hugo Award for Best Novel. That same year, it also received the Nebula Award for Best Novel. It also received the Bram Stoker Award. A few years later, in 2009, Coraline, the movie, was made. In 2003, Wolves in the Walls was published. This short story is about a little girl named Lucy who is certain that there are wolves in the walls of her house. Her family doesn't believe her, but then one day, the wolves come out. This short story picture book received the Children's Choice Award in 2004 and New York Times Best Illustrated Book. In 2009, Neil Gaiman became the recipient of the Newbery Medal for his best-selling novel, The Graveyard Book, that was published in the previous year in 2008. The Newbery Medal is the highest honor given in U.S. children's literature. The story centers around a young boy named Nobody Owens who is raised in a graveyard by ghosts after his family was murdered. It combines gothic fantasy with magical horror to create an unparalleled plot that is suitable for readers of all ages. What The Graveyard Book does so well is that it taps into the childlike fascination with the dark, creepy, and weird. The year after it was published, The Graveyard Book also received the Hugo Best Novel Prize along with the Locus Young Adult Award. Then, in 2010, The Graveyard Book received the Andrew Carnegie Medal in Literature. Receiving this award makes Gaiman the first author ever to win both the Newbery Medal and the Carnegie Medal with the same book. Neil Gaiman lives near Minneapolis, Minnesota in an Addams Family house and has lived there since 1992. Gaiman moved there to be close to his ex-wife Mary McGrath, who divorced in 2007, and his 3 children, Michael, Holly, and Madeline. This year, on January 2nd, Gaiman married songwriter and performer Amanda Palmer, a member of the Dresden Dolls. Neil Gaiman has written over 60 novels and comics in all. He is also involved in journalism, writing for films, newspapers, theater dramas, and song lyrics. He has won and received well over a dozen awards. Neil Gaiman loves what he does and will continue to do so until he can no longer.